Hello, and welcome to Ela Area Public Library's celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month Muñeca Maria program, presented by the Forge Maker Space. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the history of this amazing and beautiful doll from Mexico. And we're going to start off by learning a little bit about what is Hispanic Heritage Month, and then we're going to learn just a tad bit of the backstory of the Mexican Muñeca Maria doll, and then we're going to get right into our inspired craft. So I hope that you enjoy today's program, and feel free to visit us at eapl.org/forge for more programs and more information. So Hispanic Heritage Month, it runs from September 15th through October 15th, and it's a time where we honor the contributions Hispanics have made to the United States. We celebrate the histories, cultures from countries like Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. It's a month filled with festivities, parties, and celebrations, activities just like today's. Now let's talk about a little bit about the Mexican rag doll, also named Marias, or Marias. This doll was originally created by indigenous people from Mexico. Many people made these dolls as a way to make income for their families, especially as the rural areas were disappearing and people had to migrate and had to move to larger cities, which were growing and becoming more populated. These dolls were originally traditionally made from old clothing and scraps that people had around their home, and they were made by hand. And so everything was hand sewn, glued, everything was just all made by hand because that's all they had. And this provided them with money to provide for their families. Depending on the region of Mexico you buy these rag dolls from, they will vary in design because every region has their own types of fabrics and styles and things like that. So these dolls are very beautiful, very colorful, and just adorable. And to today's craft, we're going to be inspired by these dolls to make a keychain. And here are just some images of different kinds of dolls, and you can see that these dolls have like little mouths. The doll that we make today, the keychain that we make today, is inspired by a doll that I had as a child, and my family's from Michoacan, Mexico, and our doll didn't really have a mouth. It normally just had a nose and eyes. So these dolls are a little different, and you can see the different shapes of their heads, their hair, the way their ribbon is, their braids, their dresses. They're just all different colors, all different shapes and sizes. And you can even tell like some of these were made in factories, while others do look like they were handmade. And just the beauty of it all. So like I said, today we're going to be making this Muñeca Maria inspired keychain. If you register for this program, you are able to pick up your kit with all the supplies to make this cute, adorable keychain. If you didn't register for this program, no worries. You can still participate by viewing this video, saving it for later, and you can purchase your materials, or you can stop by the Forge and see what we have in our craft cabinet and get making. So let's get started. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about what a Muñeca Maria is and the history behind it and the importance it is to Mexico. So this is the inspired craft we will be making. It's a little keychain, so there's like a little keychain portion in the back. So let's get started. I'm going to show you exactly what's inside your kit. If you didn't get a chance to pick up your kit, it doesn't mean you don't get to enjoy making this craft at home. You can make this craft on your own using some extra supplies around the house. Or you can purchase some supplies online or in the store. In your kit, it should have come in this little brown bag. You're going to pull all this stuff out. It's going to come with a sewn little semicircle kind of thing. This is going to be the head portion. This was sewn using our sewing machines here in the Forge Maker Space, and then I stuffed them and sealed up the little hole with some glue. And then we have some colorful ribbon that was also sewn using our Forge sewing machines. We have a tassel, which is optional. I have it in here in case you guys wanted to attach it to like the bottom of it and have like a little longer keychain also have 2 rubber bands for the braids. You have your keychain loops. You should have a variety of black and 3 colors of yarn, so red, green, and yellow. It should also come with a rounded embroidery needle. You have some embroidery floss, either black or brown, and then 2 pieces of felt, black and red. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do is straighten out your thread, and then you're going to grab one of the little rubber bands, and you're going to tie off one side, making sure that all the thread stays in place. And now you're going to go ahead and braid the rest of the hair. I'd recommend spreading out the colors so that each strand, it's a 3-stranded braid, so each strand has, each group has a color. So you can just eyeball it and just kind of separate it how you see fit, like that. And then you're going to start braiding. Alright, now that you're done, you're going to go ahead and tie off right before you get to the last strand. You're going to tie off. Don't worry, we're going to be able to cut off the extra yarn. With the second rubber band. So you're going to grab some scissors and just cut that off. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and trim this side as well. So once you finish braiding, we're going to put this to the side. We're actually going to attach the braid and the ribbon together, like so, with our rounded embroidery needle. Just be very careful. Even though the tip is rounded, it's still a little sharp. So we're going to go ahead and feed this through. Right? And so you're going to feed your embroidery floss through the needle. And you're going to go ahead and just knot one of the threads, not both together, just one. I'm just going to put a double knot there so that it doesn't go through the fabric. So we're going to go ahead and get our thread ready. And the first thing we do is we're going to attach this ribbon to the hair. We're trying to center it. And then flip it over, and we're just going to start from the ribbon out. Be very careful not to poke yourself. So the knotted side should stay there, and the other side should go up through. So you should have the other end out. So we're just doing a one thread kind of style sewing, much as it's called. But yeah, see, now you just start going and sewing the ribbon to and the embroidery floss should kind of hide in between. And feel free to do some really big stitches, so like that big, because you can't see it. Alright, we're coming to our last stitch, so we're going to go ahead and knot this around by creating a back stitch. So we're going to go back. So we went out this way, and then we're going back this way to create the stitch here, and then we're going back, in, and we're going to use this last stitch to tie a knot. It doesn't have to be super pretty, especially if you've never done this before, like that. And then we're just going to go ahead and go underneath it. So we're going to do that again. We're going to go underneath it and tie our second knot and just put our needle through the eye hole that it leaves. Just so that we can tie a knot so that it stays and it doesn't unravel. And then we're just going to go ahead and trim. And so that is the ribbon on our braid. Now we're going to attach this to our little doll head that I have already pre-made for you. And so now we're going to use the same embroidery needle and floss to attach this to the head. We're going to go ahead and make 3 different knots. So one here, one on the other side of the braid, and one on the very top. The very top I recommend doing last because that's where you're also going to be attaching the keychain. So let's start with one side. Again, we're going to go in and we're going to just do one knot on one end of your embroidered floss, your double knot. The canvas material on the top of this is very porous, so I've noticed that a single knot will go through the fabric, so a double knot tends to hold a lot better. So we're going to go ahead and stretch this out. So this is the knotted side, and the side that's not knotted is right here, and it's a lot shorter. So we're going to go ahead and attach this to our base. Okay. And you're going to go ahead and start at the back of the braid so that the knot doesn't stay shown on the back of the head. So you're just going to put it right through the braid only and get that knot stuck. And now when you feed it through the braid, you go through the head. And once you do that, you just do one stitch, so you just lose it across and through the braid one more time. Come up. And then you're just going to go behind the braid. Don't go through the head anymore. So just right behind the braid. Alright. And then right behind the braid, that's where you're going to make your knot using this. Let's see if I can focus. Using this little thread that's right here by my needle, by the yellow. There's an embroidered thread you can see. You can just loop it through. And within the loop, try to make the loop a little smaller. So this little loop, put your needle through, and just pull tight, and it's going to create a knot. And you're just going to go ahead and do it again. Loop it through, pull right before you close that little hole, little loop. You're going to put your needle through it, and then pull tight, and that's going to be a double knot. And so now you have it knotted right behind the braid. So now you grab your scissors and you're going to go ahead and trim off as close as you can to the excess. And so we have one side, now we're going to go ahead and do the other side. Alright, so now we have both sides attached. So each side of the braid is attached, but the top part isn't quite attached yet. We are going to attach the key ring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my rest of my embroidered floss, and you're going to go ahead and attach the braid to the head part. So in order to do that, you're going to go ahead and go behind your braid, right in between the braid and the ribbon. We're trying to hide that knot. Okay, so now we're in front of our braid. Now we're in front. And then, so again, we started off between the ribbon and the braid in the back, and we pushed it through. So now we're in the front, and we're just going to go ahead and follow along the braiding to hide that thread. And we're just going to push it through the braid and the ribbon like that. We haven't attached it to the head yet. We're just going to pull it through. how it's behind the ribbon. Now we're going to go ahead and attach our keychain. So we're just going to put the needle right through the keychain. I'm just going to hold it like that. And now we're going to put it through the head portion. So just go ahead and right in the middle. So what this is going to do, it's going to attach everything together and sandwich it so that it stays. Just easier to hold the keychain in place. And then you're just going to go ahead and put it again along another. You're going to put it through the head. You're just going to do a stitch. So we want to make sure that it's secured. It's going to go into the hole at least twice. Through the ribbon now and up to the front through the braid. And then you can do it a couple more times to secure the keychain if you want it a little more sturdy. And then in order to tie it off, we're going to do the same thing as we did with the other knots on the edges. We're just going to go ahead and braid it just through, do a stitch through the braid. Don't go all the way through the ribbon, so right between the ribbon and the braid. I'm going to go to the back of the braid, and you're going to find one of those strings that we did when we were attaching the keychain. You're just gonna put your needle right underneath, so if you pull up, there's gonna be tension. You're not gonna be able to pull all the way up. So you're gonna put it through, make a little loop like that, and put your needle right through that loop to make that knot and pull tight. And you're gonna do it one more time to make a double knot. So again, find one of those, the same string, try to find the same one. And again, I can't pull my needle up, so it's stuck there. So we're gonna make a loop, and then we're just gonna put the needle right through that and pull tight. So that created a double knot. And then you're just gonna go ahead and off the excess. And then again, feel free to trim off any of these frays that I missed. So we have this, and then we have our little keychain attached to the back. And now you're welcome to either draw on the face or use felt pieces. Okay, so these felt pieces, should be enough to do 2 eyes and a nose. So traditionally, the eyes are little black circles. So we're just going to go ahead and fold this felt piece, and we're just going to cut little circles out. And then you're going to grab your little piece of red felt, and you're going to cut out a triangle. So it's just I'm going to put the nose there. And then you can go ahead and use some glue or some hot glue to attach the pieces. To your project. You can go ahead and draw them on using markers. But that is your little Muñeca Maria inspired craft. If you did want to go ahead and attach the tassel that came in your kit, you can go ahead and do so by using your leftover embroidery floss and attaching it to the bottom of the head, or attaching it wherever you would like an extra touch of color. But you do have the option of a tassel. I hope you enjoyed this program, and I hope that you share pictures of your creations with us on social media and tag us at Hila Public Library, or even hashtag Forge Makerspace. That's it. Thank you.